Hi everyone, it's Rachel and I'm here today with my polymer clay update number 28, I believe. So in this video I'll pretty much be showing you the polymer clay charms I've made for my own charm collection since my last update video, which I believe also was on the first day of the year. So I haven't done one in quite a few months. So the first charms I'm going to show you today are all ones that I've made for tutorials. So if you want to know how to make any of these ones, you can just have a look through my videos, or I'll try to remember to link them down in the description box below. So first up I have this little kitty in a swimming pool, and this was made using polymer clay and UV resin. So I used resin for the water, but everything else is made out of clay. So it's pretty much just like a little rubber wading pool, and then inside there's a little cat floating in there with a floaty, and I've also painted stars on it. So again, I'll link this down below and you can check it out if you'd like to learn how to make it. I then have this kawaii Vegemite charm, and this was made for Australia Day, which was back in January. So it's just a little bottle of Vegemite, or a little jar of Vegemite with a kawaii face. And if you're unsure what Vegemite is, I know in other countries like the UK they call it Marmite, so it's a very similar thing to that if you're more familiar with what Marmite is. Next up I have this little pastel unicorn donut charm, and that's pretty much what it is. It's a donut with a unicorn on it, so I made like the icing for the main, and it's got a gold horn, and I've also made some little eyes using polymer clay. I then have this Light Fury cupcake, and this is from the movie How to Train Your Dragon The Hidden World, and I made this when the movie first came out to kind of celebrate it, I guess. And in the past I've also made a toothless cupcake, so I thought it was only fitting to also make a Light Fury one as well. So you can see for the colour of the actual Light Fury I've used a pearl clay, but I've also added a shimmer, kind of how she does in the movie, if you can see that. I then have these 3 Easter egg chicks, and of course these were made for Easter, and I made a tutorial on these. So I have a pink one, a purple one, and then there's also one coming out of a blue egg as well. I then have this little cat in a drink, and this was made for a Sophie and Toffee tutorial. Not all of it's clay, the base is, or the drink part's resin, only the clay is polymer clay. Only the cat is polymer clay, but I thought I'd show it anyway because I guess it's kind of made out of clay. So the theme for this Sophie and Toffee box that I made it for was cherry blossom lattes, so I decided to make a little cat in a drink, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I then have these 3 roses, which I made for a more recent tutorial where I show you how to make a realistic rose using polymer clay, and I really love the way these ones turned out. This was the first one I made here in the middle, this is the one I made in the tutorial, and then I made a blue one just for fun to kind of practice. So I tried to make them realistic by mixing the colour with translucent clay so they weren't fully opaque and the leaves are kind of see-through-ish. And then of course it's got the leaves as well, and then the backs just kind of look like this. And then just for another practice I also made this little one, this little yellow rose, and this was made using Fimo quartz clay because I wanted to see how the kind of quartz clay would look making the rose. Next up I have these 5 different charms, and these were all made for a polymer clay beginners tutorial, so I wanted to make some simple charms that you could easily make if you were just beginning polymer clay. So these are the charms I made. I made like a daisy or a sunflower or any kind of flower you want depending on the colours that you use. There's a simple strawberry that looks like that. There's a chocolate donut with some rainbow sprinkles, but of course you can make any colour icing you like. I made a planet charm, and then I also made this little bunny. So that's it for the tutorial charms. Now I have all these charms, and these were also made for a video, but not tutorials. They were made for my remake tag video. So what I did is I picked some of my older charms that I had previously made from my own charm collection, and I remade them in the style that I would now. So I'll go through each of these charms individually for you. So first up I have this little kawaii lemonade. There's a little teddy bear, Momechi from Tamagotchi, a little green dinosaur, a succulent garden, and then also these 2 kawaii paint palettes. I then made a bunch of different waffle cones just for fun because I really got into making them, and then I kind of got out of control and I went crazy with all the different flavours and colours, so I'll show you each of those. The first ones I made were these 2, and there's a pink and a blue, and then they just have rainbow sprinkles on top. I have a chocolate ice cream, and this one also has some chocolate drizzle and some little nuts on top. There's this rainbow swirl ice cream. Lemon with 2 little lemon cane slices. There's this purple one which is grape flavoured. This one's meant to be like pink lemonade inspired, so it's just a pink waffle cone, oh sorry, no, not waffle cone, pink ice cream with some darker pink drizzle and also 2 lemon slices. And then finally I have this unicorn waffle cone. So the actual ice cream is like pastel swirled and then it has some gold on it as well. There's ears and of course a little gold horn on top. Next up I have a few different donut sets to show you. So these first 2 are Dan & Phil Best Friend, oh if it focuses, there we go. Dan & Phil Best Friend donut charms, and they have the cat whiskers, oh the focus. They have the cat whiskers from the pin-off videos. I then have these 2 Mario and Luigi donuts. So they're just simple plain donuts with a little bit of drizzle. Oh my gosh, the focus! With a little bit of drizzle in their colours. They've got a little hat on, and then of course they've got a little kawaii face with a mustache. And then the last 2 donuts I have are these 2, and these are rainbow ombre ones. So one has no glitter and then one also has some glitter. Next up I have this drumstick ice cream cone, and this was made in a challenge video towards the start of the year where I had to make a charm out of polymer clay following one of Nerdy Crafter's tutorials using only the audio. So Sarah picked the audio, Sarah my sister, and this is what the charm was. Mine looks slightly different to Nerdy Crafter's, to Jackie's, but yeah, this is how mine turned out. You can go watch that video, I'll leave it linked down below. I then have just this simple kitty and bunny charm. I think I actually included these in my polymer clay tips and tricks video number 2, but I never completely finished them off. So here they are, just glazed and finished. Here I have this glass jar, ornament, I don't know what to call it, orb. And this piece here was inspired by Paws of Pride on Instagram, where there was a challenge and you had to turn a drawing into your style that they had. So I'll put the photo, or I'll put the drawing on the screen so you can see what it looks like. And the challenge was to redraw it in your own style, but of course I didn't want to draw it. I made mine out of clay and resin. So this is what it ended up looking like. I used a glass orb, again I don't know what to call it, a glass orb, and then I made the cat out of polymer clay and also the stars that are in the resin, and then I just layered the resin in rainbow colours, starting off with purple and then ending up with red. Yeah, so this is what the finished thing looks like. I then had this little cubed unicorn bear charm, and this was made following one of my students' drawings. So that was turned into a video. What I had to do, my student had a drawing which she gave me, and I had to make it using polymer clay. So this is how that one turned out. Again, I'll leave that video linked down below in the description if you would like to check it out. Here I have this little Nin Cat inspired figure. So it's pretty much inspired by Nin Cat, however you want to say it. I don't even know anymore. I always forget. So it's pretty much a grey kitty, and then it's holding the Pop-Tart like it does in the animation, I guess you would call it. And then for the rainbow part, I didn't have it coming off the tail or anything. I decided to include it in a little like flower crown. So that's where the rainbow element is, and I really like how this charm turned out. And then the final thing I had to show you for this update is a peas in a pod charm. Well, it's not exactly a charm because it doesn't have an eye pin, but this peas in a pod piece, except that the peas are rainbow coloured. So I gave them a few little different expressions, and then the little yellow one in the centre also has its little hands hanging out. And there you have it. These are all the new polymer clay charms that I have to show you since my last update. I really hope you enjoyed this video and maybe got some inspiration from some of these charms. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for lots more crafty videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!